Hi, and welcome back to Free for All Friday on Focal Point. Brian Fisher is my name, congenial, convivial, and amiable as always. Got a lot of stuff I want to get into on this Benghazi stuff. In fact, virtually everything I've got in sound bites today is on Benghazi. So let's jump right into this deal, because this is actually threatening, ladies and gentlemen, to be President Obama's Watergate. This is as dangerous and as serious as Watergate. Now, whether this leads to the end of his presidency, as Watergate led to the end of Nixon's presidency, is going to be up to the mainstream media. Now, they are losing interest in covering for Obama, but here is the X factor. They still want Hillary to be president in 2016. The media is infatuated with Hillary Clinton. They idolize Hillary Clinton. They will do anything to protect Hillary Clinton. So they would like to turn on Obama, and they're already beginning to do it. Got a Washington Post column today saying, hey, it is time for Obama to panic. We've got other stories about how millennials are just tuning out. They're not interested. They're not going to show up to vote in 2014. And if they do, they're not going to vote for Democrats because they've had 6 years of President Obama and they can't get jobs. We've got the jobs report. We'll get to that a little bit later. It's just dismal. Don't listen to what people are saying about how we got a wonderful recovery and the economy is bouncing back and it's roaring back. Everybody, every age group under the age of 55 lost jobs last month. The only demographic that actually gained jobs was people 55 or older. So young people are just getting hosed in the economy right now. They know it, so they're getting disaffected. They're not going to show up. And if they do, they're not going to vote for the Democrats because they're getting fed up because they don't have jobs. They're stuck living at home in the basement of their parents. Now, so if the media turns on President Obama like they turned on Nixon, then I think President Obama, this could be fatal to him. But the calibration for the media, they've got to try to find a way to prop up Hillary Clinton at the same time. And that's the challenge they're looking at. We don't care anymore about Obama because he can't get reelected. So we've got no role in his reelection campaign like we had in 2008 and 2012. We had a role to play. We had our job to do to help his reelection campaign. We did it twice, and we were successful, but he's not running for reelection. So now we've got to worry about how we can get Democrats elected in 2014 and how we can protect Hillary from the fallout from Benghazi. Now, I want to begin. Jeff pulled this together some time ago. This is an audio montage of Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama talking about this Benghazi deal. We are now discovering that this whole cover story, and it's a cover-up, just like Watergate, this whole cover story that this was all triggered by this internet video is a complete sham. It's a complete hoax. It's a complete lie. It's an absolute total falsehood. It was the lie of the year, frankly, for 2012, just as President Obama's promise that if you like your insurance and your doctor, you can keep them, was the lie of the year for 2013. So here is the montage. This was done at the time. What they were saying in the immediate aftermath of Benghazi. The last one is particularly offensive because this is Hillary Clinton at the airport, I think in Dover, Delaware, where the coffins of the 4 dead Americans are being unloaded. Let's listen.
There are hundreds of protesters out in the street. They're right at the wall against the U.S. Embassy wall on the street that it's on, chanting slogans against the United States.
We are coming on the air because we have just learned that the U.S. ambassador to Libya has been killed. It happened overnight when angry militants stormed the U.S. consulate in Benghazi, Libya, and it appears the attack was inspired by an anti-Muslim film produced by an American-Israeli filmmaker living in California.
What happened this week in Cairo, in Benghazi, was a direct result of a heinous and offensive video.
Would you call the attack on the U.S. consulate in Benghazi an act of terrorism?
I have no doubt about that.
And that is what we saw play out in the last 2 weeks. As a crude and disgusting video sparked outrage throughout the Muslim world.
There is enough proof that it is a pre-planned act of terrorism.
Now, I have made it clear that the United States government had nothing to do with this video.
I think it's Al-Qaeda.
Here's what happened. You had a video that was released by somebody who lives here, sort of a shadowy character, who is an extremely offensive video directed at Muhammad and Islam.
Let me state very clearly, and I hope it is obvious, that the United States government had absolutely nothing to do with this video.
We understand why people take offense to this video because millions of our citizens are among them.
The United States government had absolutely nothing to do with this video.
The United States government had nothing to do with this video.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we bring home for Americans who gave their lives for our country and our values. We've seen the heavy assault on our post in Benghazi that took the lives of those brave men. We've seen rage and violence directed at American embassies over an awful internet video that we had nothing to do with.
Well, and they're simply wrong when they say they had nothing to do with that video. The only reason people even know about the video is the United States government, because they wouldn't stop talking about it. We would never have heard about this video if Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton had not gone out there repeatedly and lied about it being the source of everything and to bear the blame for everything. I mean, President Obama went to the UN and blamed the video. Hillary Clinton greets the grieving families and the dead bodies, blames it on the video. Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, we had an excerpt from that. They did a PSA, basically a 1-minute spot. They bought time on Pakistani television to blame it all on the video. And they knew when they were saying this that the video had absolutely nothing to do with it. So they had everything to do with the fact that people even know about the video. Now, this is John Carl yesterday. I had this in the queue yesterday. They didn't get to it. But this email has surfaced from Ben Rhodes, who's the brother of the head of CBS News. You wonder why CBS hasn't touched this? They still haven't touched it. There's been nothing on CBS News for the last 2 nights on this Benghazi deal. And Ben Rhodes is the guy that wrote the email saying, look, we've got to find a way on Sunday to take the pressure off Obama. We got to blame it on this video. And he was the one writing that email to prepare Susan Rice for her interview on Sunday. Now, here is John Caro, ABC. He's getting a little testy here with Jay Carney, trying to get to the bottom of what this Ben Rhodes email sounds like. This is clip 10. Let's listen.
Ambassador Rice went on those shows and she said that the attack in Benghazi was rooted in protests over an internet video. We now know that that was not true, that in fact the CIA director, former director Morell, just testified last month that, quote, when she talked about the video, my reaction was, that's not something the analysts have attributed this attack to. It did not come from the CIA. You stood there at the podium time after time and said that she was referring to talking points created by the CIA. Now we see a document that comes from the White House, not from the CIA, attributing the protests to the video. And we have the former director of the CIA saying that that was not something that his analysts had attributed to.
John,
Benghazi, Benghazi, Benghazi. Why aren't we talking about something else?
Now, here is clip number 2. This is clip 11. This is John Carl, again, trying to get the truth out of Jay Carney about this Ben Rhodes email, which makes it very, very clear that the talking points did not come from the State Department. The talking points did not come from the CIA. The talking points came from inside the White House from this Ben Rhodes guy who used to be a van driver. This guy got his start driving a press van for Senator Obama back in 2008 before he was even president. And somehow he migrates from being no, he wasn't the van driver. I take that back. I'm mixing him up with this Tommy Vietor. We'll get to him in just a second. But Ben Rhodes, his degree is in writing fiction. That's what his degree is in. He's a fiction writer. He got a master's degree in writing fiction, which is exactly what he's doing here, doing exactly what he's trained to do. So he says, look, so it becomes very clear, and John Carl is getting frustrated here with Jay Carney because Jay Carney's obviously dancing and bobbing and weaving. Here is clip 11, the second of their exchanges.
Why were you holding back this information? Why was this email not turned over to the Congress? Why was it not released when you released all the other emails? This is directly relevant. Why did you hold it back?
John, again.
Why did it take a court case for you to release this email?
John, I can say it again and again, and I know you can keep asking again and again. This document was not about Benghazi.
Benghazi, Benghazi, Benghazi. Why aren't we talking about something else?
And Rob, do we have that graphic of the email? I don't know where we've got that, but he's saying this was not about Benghazi, but you look, and we've got the graphic up on the screen for those who are watching on television or a video streaming at afr.net, and you can see right up there the heading under which this email is found is Benghazi. I mean, it's under the section that's headed Benghazi. And they coughed this up in connection with a Freedom of Information request for documents that pertained to Benghazi. And then you have Jay Carney out there saying this had nothing to do with Benghazi. I mean, it's just ludicrous, and it's so bald-faced that even the media, which is typically very compliant and very anxious to please the Obama administration, even Jonathan Karl, not falling for this swill. Now, here is clip number 12, the third and final of the exchanges between John Karl, ABC News, and Jay Carney.
Just one last question, just in the interest of clearing the record. You said at the podium last year that the talking points that Susan Rice used for those Sunday show appearances were a product of the intelligence community, that the White House and the State Department only changed one word. We now know, obviously we've known for some time, that that is not true. Can you correct the record on that?
Benghazi, Benghazi, Benghazi. Why aren't we talking about something else?
So, he says, look, how about correcting the record? It's a polite way of saying, look, you have been lying to us for 2 years from that very podium. We've come in here every day. We've listened to your bald-faced lies. And Jonathan Karl has had it. I mean, he realizes that the Obama administration is now playing the media for chumps. They're playing them for fools. They're dinking around with them. They're taking advantage of them. They're lying to them. They're manipulating them. At some point, everybody gets tired of that. They don't want to be jobbed. And when they realize they're just being tools in somebody else's hand, they're not going to like that. And the media is finally getting to that place, I believe, with Obama. I mean, Jonathan Karl is. I mean, he knows the Obama administration out there making them look like incompetent boobs, and they're starting to strike back. So we got some more. We're going to be talking here with Greg Bannon in the next segment, the candidate for United States Senate in GOP primary in North Carolina. And then we'll cycle back to this in the last segment, start taking some of your phone calls. But things are so bad now that John Boehner has finally responded to repeated requests, and he's going to appoint a special Benghazi committee, and he's going to put Trey Gowdy in charge of this thing. This is fantastic news. Trey Gowdy, I mean, we've featured his sound bites on this program frequently. I love that guy. Trey Gowdy is a take-no-prisoners guy. He is a stud on these issues. He's a bare-knuckle cage fighter. He is going to be hard. He's going to be charging. He's going to get at the truth. Nobody is going to be able to get away with nothing in the special committee hearings that he hosts. So that's a brilliant choice by John Boehner. Trey Gowdy, exactly the right guy to lead that special committee. And trust me, we're going to get some stuff. This is supposed to be the most transparent administration in history. Been lying to us for 2.5 years. Back in 2.